staying with us. Welcome to the news at 5 on Channels Television. I'm Joke Rogers. Apologies for beginning a little behind schedule. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has stopped the planned 2025 National Convention of the People's Democratic Party until the party complies with the statutory requirements. The Constitution and the Electoral Act are met. Delivering judgment in a suit filed by 3 aggrieved members of the party, Presiding Judge Justice James Omotosho also restrained INEC from accepting the reports on the outcome of any national convention of the party without following the due process of the law as well as its guidelines and regulations. The judge held that INEC is not entitled to give effect to the convention not done in accordance with the Constitution, Electoral Act and the guidelines, regulations of political parties. The plaintiffs instituted the suit seeking to stop the planned November 15 and 16, 2025 National Convention of the PDP scheduled for Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, where new national officers are expected to be elected on the ground of a breach of the party's constitution. The 9 defendants are Independent National Electoral Commission, the PDP, Samuel Ayawu, National Secretary of the party, Umar Bature, National Organizing Secretary of the party, National Working Committee and National Executive Committee of the party, Ambassador Umar Ilya Damagum, Ali Udefa, and as well as Emmanuel Ogidi. Speakers of the African Public Square Policy Dialogue are canvassing for a more intelligence-based approach to solving insecurity matters on the continent. At the 50th meeting of experts of the Economic Community of West African States, various contributors also charged African leaders to uphold the tenets of democracy, equality, and prosperity for all.
It's a gathering of policy experts, leaders of thought, academics, and political leaders to chart a way forward for Africa's development. The African Public Square is a critical debate platform organized by the Amandla Institute for Policy and Leadership Advancement, an initiative of former Governor Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State.
Now the debate is open.
Mr. Fayemi, who is the co-founder of the institute, believes African leaders must adopt practical and innovative strategies to solve the continent's challenges.
The challenges of poverty, inequality, governance deficits, and insecurity cannot be effectively addressed by ECOWAS in its current form. There is an urgent need for a new, citizen-centered approach that responds to the real concerns of ordinary West Africans rather than focusing solely on the priorities of political leaders. It is also my hope that a key part of our discussion will focus on security and the role of the military in addressing instability in the region. It is now evident that traditional military strategies alone are inadequate in tackling the complex threats posed by insurgent and terrorist groups.
This second edition of the African Public Square is designed to mark the 50th anniversary of the Economic Community of West African States, with the theme, Reimagining West African Regional Cooperation and Integration. This formed the basis of the conversation during the panel session.
Just a few examples. Porosity of borders is a necessity for African peoples. West African peoples are not an exception. If the border is porous, they move back and forth across the borders, but it always seems a threat to the state.
Today, we are facing a number of challenges which make regional integration a must through regional organization.
The ECOWAS-free movement of goods and persons, the protocol which establishes that, and which of course means that every ECOWAS member state citizen can work and undertake trading activities and also undertake visa-free travels across the sub-region.
The Pan-African organization is focused on driving leadership and policy initiatives for the transformation of Africa. It also produces policy reports, organizes dialogues, and promotes intergenerational conversations for the development of the continent. Dele Omuyeni, Channels Television News.
Well, the police is doubling its efforts to ensure further reduction in kidnapping activities in the Federal Capital Territory. A major breakthrough was recorded recently when operatives of the FCT Police Command Scorpion Squad arrested 14 suspected kidnappers and rescued 23 victims, all foreign nationals, from captivity. The intelligence-led operation took place at about 8 p.m. on Tuesday, October 22, 2025 at Angwan Adamu, Ruga Fulani Zone B, Riverside, Ado Mararaba, Nasarawa State. The police swung into action after it received intelligence report that several foreign nationals had been lured into Nigeria under the pretext of lucrative job offers. Upon arrival, they were held hostage by the abductors, who demanded ransom payments from their families via WhatsApp and other platforms. Preliminary investigations revealed that the syndicate is coordinated by one Abubakar Jigiba, a transnational crime kingpin with known residences in Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Mali, and Nigeria. His younger brother, Sugule Zubure, handles the recruitment, kidnapping, and smuggling victims from Nigeria, from Mali into Nigeria. The Armed Forces has held an emotional and inspiring farewell for the outgoing Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa. The pulling out ceremony for the former Chief of Defense, General Musa, which held at the Defense Headquarters in Abuja, brought together top officers and retired military officers, including retired former Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Rabo. Reflecting on his distinguished 39-year military career, he urged soldiers to remain steadfast in their commitment to national security, saying that Nigeria is worth fighting for. The retired CDS expressed deep gratitude to President Bola Tinubu, who appointed him to the position in 2023, for the trust and opportunity to serve. While bidding farewell to his military uniform, he shared a heartfelt tribute to his family, particularly his wife and children, who he said bore the brunt of his long absences and constant concerns for his safety. The last 4 days have been horrific for travelers and motorists using the Otalala Bridge axis, Berger, Mowe, outbound Lagos on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. This morning, yet another accident occurred involving 4 vehicles and an articulated truck. Eyewitness accounts revealed that the truck suffered brake failure and rammed into a vehicle in front, triggering a chain collision involving 3 other cars. This comes less than 24 hours after the road crash involving multiple trucks on the Kara axis of the same Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, resulting in the death of 6 people. The Commissioner of Police in Lagos, Olorundare Jimoh, had attributed the accidents to reckless driving, promising that the police command will investigate and prosecute drivers involved in the act. The federal government has sealed an illegal mining site at a Emeka community in Eza South local government area of Ebonyi State in southeast Nigeria. The move follows months of surveillance and intelligence gathering aimed at curbing illegal mining activities and revenue loss.
The joint enforcement operation was carried out by officials of the Federal Ministry of Solid Minerals in collaboration with the Ebonyi State government. Authorities say the illegal mining activities amount to economic sabotage and deny both tiers of government the revenue due from mineral extraction.
We are here today to make sure that there is zero tolerance to illegalities. You can have a license and you can still be working illegally inside your legal license. But in a situation of this place, everybody knows it's not a secret. It fell under a license of one company. There should be a way by which we resolve this. Nobody is stopping you.
The development has sparked protests from members of the host community who accused some individuals of corruption and illegal takeover of the site. They are calling for transparency and fairness in the signing of the Community Development Agreement.
What we are saying is so simple. We are not against royal salt. Yes. We are ready to negotiate with the royal salt. But they shouldn't take it by force on us. Some of them has collected money and signed a lot of agreement on our behalf. And we are not aware. And we cannot allow royal salt to start without our own interest being captured.
Thank you.
That is the only common demand we demand from the state government.
We need adequate agreement.
Responding to the concerns, the State Commissioner for Solid Minerals, Chidi Onya, assures residents that the government will ensure due process and community participation in future mining agreements.
There is no way. CDA agreement is like pregnancy. If there is any that you have handled before and it was in the hands of very few or that it was secretive, it is because the proper protocol wasn't observed or wasn't followed. The proper way to do agreement is to involve the state and federal government and the company and host community to play. It is to make sure you send people who will negotiate very well on your behalf.
All equipment and assets at the site have been confiscated and forfeited to the federal government to serve as a deterrent to others operating without valid licenses. Officials of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, along with other security agencies, were on ground to enforce the shutdown and secure the premises.
We turn our attention to Yobe State, where the government has signed a memorandum of understanding with 6 government agencies and companies to boost mining activities across the state. Governor Mai Mala Buni signed the agreement at the Mining Stakeholders Forum meeting at the Government House in Damaturu, the state capital.
Governor Mai Mala Buni of Yobe State leads politicians, traditional rulers, and government officials for the maiden edition of the Yobe Mining Stakeholders Forum, an engagement that aims to explore the mining activities within the state. With the team building strategic partnership for sustainable mining and industrial growth in Yobe, the state government hopes to harness the available mineral resources in the state for economic growth.
The credibility and open door policy of His Excellency have attracted significant from direct finance institutions and private investors. You will bear witness, inshallah, before the end of this program, 5 memorandum of understanding will be signed between Yobe state government with national and international investors to show and prove the transparency.
If effectively developed, these mineral endowment would not only create massive employment opportunities, but also strengthen our industrial base, attract foreign direct investment, and greatly improve the internally generated revenue of the state.
After showcasing the indigenous mineral resources in the state, including gypsum, kaolin, bentonite, diatomite, among others, the governor says the state government plans to tap the state's resources for economic growth.
Yobe State is richly endowed with mineral resources such as limestone, gypsum, kaolin, granite, quartz, silica, among many others. Yet, for decades, these gifts of nature have remained grossly untapped and underutilized. The time has come to turn these hidden potentials into productive assets that will create jobs, generate wealth, and advance the socio-economic development of our people. This forum is not just another conference. It is a strategic convergence of minds and mandates providing a platform for dialogue, alignment, and actionable collaboration among all key stakeholders in the mining value chain.
One after the other, the government agencies and the companies signed a memorandum of understanding to commence the official mining of the mineral resources in the state.
When we come back on the news at 5, Nigeria's foremost cable manufacturing company, Coleman Technical Industries, now has its second fiber optic factory located in Shagamu. Details soon. Stay with us. Nigeria's foremost cable manufacturing company, Coleman Technical Industries Limited, has unveiled a second fiber optic factory which is located in Shagamu, Ogun State, in southwest Nigeria. Described as Africa's largest fiber optic cable manufacturing factory and the continent's first fiber reinforced plastic production factory, the multi-billion naira ultra-modern facility is expected to boost local content production, reduce Nigeria's reliance on imported fiber cables, and position the country as a regional hub for telecommunications and manufacturing of power infrastructure.
A new era for digital connectivity has now arrived in Nigeria and Africa as Coleman Technical Industries Limited, makers of renowned Coleman wires and cables, officially commissions its second multi-billion naira fiber optic factory in Shagamu area of Ogun State. The high-profile event drew top government officials, captains of industries, traditional rulers and other top dignitaries to also witness the celebration of its 50th anniversary.
It is truly a pleasure to join you all.
In their remarks, the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Jumoke Oduole, and the Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, commended the company's role in boosting local production capacity and driving Nigeria's industrial and digital transformation.
This factory, the largest of its kind in Africa, signals more than cables and conduits. It represents the lifeline of Nigeria's digital economy. It symbolizes the arteries through which data, opportunity, and innovation will flow across our nation.
To be able to deploy that fiber, we will need to train a lot of young people. And we're already talking to Coleman and the American partner, Conin, to see how we can actually bring 5,000 young people from all over the country.
The invited guests had a chance to witness the commissioning of what is now one of the largest fiber optic facilities in West Africa. Speaking at the event, the managing director, Mr. George Onoforokan, reaffirmed the company's vision to position Nigeria as a regional hub for industrial technology and export.
Now that we've achieved scale, which has basically become the biggest cable company in terms of fiber optics in Africa, the next scale is to actually do a draw tower. The draw tower is to be able to produce the fiber in country. And that's where our next scale is. It's over $100 million initial investment.
This single largest manufacturing facility for fiber optic cable infrastructure would totally transform our digital economy. By the establishment of this, we have added an additional 9 million linear kilometers of fiber cable manufacturing capacity, and that's to an existing 3 million linear kilometers that's already existing.
With the commissioning of this second fiber optic factory, Coleman Technical Industries Limited reinforces its position as a key player in Nigeria's industrial revolution, setting new standards for local manufacturing and global competitiveness.
Business news. The Securities and Exchange Commission has partnered with the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to track and freeze illicit digital wallets used for money laundering and other financial crimes. The Director General of the SEC, Ememotimi Agama, made this known while addressing participants at the Abuja Journalist Academy on Digital and Asset Regulation, represented by the SEC's Head of External Relations Department, Ife Bello. The Capital Market Regulators DG explained that the partnership marks a major step in protecting investors and strengthening integrity in Nigeria's fast-growing digital financial ecosystem. He also mentioned that Nigeria's high adoption of digital assets reflects the country's creative youth, mobile technology penetration, and pursuit of financial inclusion. The Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission has hailed Nigeria's removal from the Financial Action Task Force grey list as a landmark development that will boost investor confidence and open new channels for infrastructure financing. Speaking on the significance of the move, ICRC Director General Dr. Jobson Oseodion described the delisting as a game changer that strengthens Nigeria's financial credibility and positions the country as one of Africa's most attractive investment destinations. Well, Zenith Bank PLC has reported strong earnings for the 9 months ended September 30, 2025, with a group pre-tax profit of 917.4 billion naira. And that's according to its unaudited financial statements. For the third quarter alone, the bank posted a 291.7 billion naira profit before tax, representing a 6% increase from the 275.8 billion naira recorded in the same period of 2024. And that's the news at 5. Thank you for watching. I'm Joke Rogers.